Guys, I might have the most epic hidden in plain sight of all time. Check this out. Now, if you saw Tucker's podcast with Roseanne, he mentioned that the Nephilim might be running the show still today, and that's why there's so much corruption in the world.
The people who run our society consider themselves gods.
But what does he mean by that? Well, check out this clip from Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Look, man, remember all the myths about great gods and goddesses? Well, they're not myths. Remember what Mr. Bruner said? Sometimes they come down to Earth and they fall in love with mortals, and then they have kids?
No way.
Yes way. Yep, you're a demigod. 2 points to Percy Jackson. Look, don't worry, but you're not alone. There's hundreds in the world. Some lead normal lives, and some I'm not allowed to divulge their names are very famous. I'm talking about like White House famous.
Okay, so if you guys know, the Greek gods are the Watchers, and their sons, the demigods, are the Nephilim. So he literally says that some of the demigods are still around and they're White House famous. Speaking of White House famous, who's the most famous president of all? George Washington. Now let's go look at the Capitol Rotunda. Look at the ceiling. This is what they call the apotheosis of George Washington. George Washington ascending to be a god, sitting amongst the Greek and Roman gods. George Washington's monument is an obelisk. That's a symbol of Osiris. Once again, another god.
Washington was definitely a Freemason. Matter of fact, they cast sprigs of acacia at his Masonic funeral to signify him going on to the land of Osiris in the underworld. Now, they believed Osiris was already in the underworld, and they believed that Washington was the America's first Osiris, but he wasn't meant to be the final. He was meant to be a type.
And consider this, that all the presidents are related, save Martin Van Buren. They're all cousins.
All the presidents, with the exception of one, share the same grandfather.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Bridget Dovigneau says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery, that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related and descendants of a former king of England.
No, they are all cousins, and they're grandsons of John Lackland.
So if George Washington was a demigod, that means they're all related to the demigods.
At the inauguration of every U.S. president, the president is up there, right there between the dome and the obelisk, right there in that power generator, and right around the corner at the Herodome, which is what they call the Masonic Mecca of the world. They are literally doing the Raising of Osiris ritual while the presidential inauguration happens at every election. And they are literally calling on the spirit of Osiris to raise up, or Apollo, however you want to slice it, to come out of the underworld and to possess the president. So the president, the president-elect walks into this ritual a man, exits the ritual a god.
Is that what Tucker was talking about?
They're more than human.
Oh, I noticed.
They
That's why
think
they
they're
want to live
royals. They think they're like royals in a rarefied sphere of DNA or something above us.
Am I reaching, bro?
I don't know if this is the Nephilim, right?
I was going to say,
I know.
I know.
Here we go.
Or am I right?